랄랄라. 오늘 제가 영화관에서 요즘에 배운 스토리타운이라는 책을 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 제목은 루비 더 커피캣입니다. Monday was Ruby's first day in Miss Hart's class. Class, this is Ruby, announced Miss Hart. Ruby, you may use the empty desk behind Angela. Angela is the girl with the pretty red ball in her hair. Angela smiled at Ruby. Ruby smiled at Angela's ball and tipped off to her seat. I hope everyone had a pleasant weekend, said Miss Hart. Does anyone have something to share? I was the flower girl at my sister's wedding, said Angela. That's exciting, said Miss Hart. Ruby raised her hand halfway. I was the flower girl at my first wedding too, and my sister's wedding too. That is coincidence, said Miss Hart. Angela turned and smiled at Ruby. Ruby smiled at the top of Angela's head. Class, please take out your reading books, said Miss Hart. At lunchtime, Ruby hopped all the way home on the foot. When Ruby came back to school, she was wearing a red ball in her hair. She slid into her seat behind Angela. I like your ball, whispered Angela. I like yours too, whispered Ruby. Class, please take out your math book, said Miss Hart. On Tuesday morning, Angela wore a sweater with Daisy on it. At lunchtime, Ruby hopped home sideways. When Ruby came back to school after lunch, she was wearing a sweater with Daisy on it. I like your sweater, whispered Angela. I like yours too, whispered Ruby. On Wednesday, Angela wore a hand-painted t-shirt with matching sneakers. After lunch, Ruby hopped back to school wearing a hand-painted t-shirt with matching sneakers. Why are you sitting like that? Whispered Angela. Wet paint, said Ruby. On Thursday morning, during sharing time, Angela modeled the flower girl dress she wore at her sister's wedding. Ruby modeled her flower girl's dress too. Right after lunch, Angela didn't whisper anything. By coincidence, on Friday morning, both girls were red and lavender striped dresses. At lunchtime, Angela raced home. When Angela came back to school, she was wearing black. On Friday afternoon, Miss Hart asked everyone to write